Hi everyone, my name is Tony Huang. I'm the founder of TechExecs Network here in today at the San Antonio TechExecs Chapter Evening Social. As you can see, there's a great turnout behind me, and we're going to grab a few people for a quick soundbite and learn a little bit more about this chapter. With me is Darren Ganaway. He's the co-chapter chair here at the San Antonio chapter of TechExecs. How are you, Darren?
I'm doing well, Tony. Thank you.
This is a great turnout, huh?
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of energy. The chapter's growing. We've got a lot of exciting things coming down the pipe, so really excited to be here.
So social is one thing. Let's talk about the Roundtable. What's coming up on October 9th?
Well, on October 9th, we've got a roundtable focusing in on hiring technical talent and drawing people to the area and getting them excited. I think we've got San Antonio has been growing. We're the 6th largest city in the U.S. We've got a lot of new innovations and a lot of new culture and the little pieces of San Antonio that not everyone is relating to our San Antonio culture. We're getting a little younger, we're doing more things that are interesting, and so there's a lot of development around that San Antonio has a lot to offer, and we're happy to share that and bring new IT talent to San Antonio. Well, I think we're all faced with some of the same challenges, and so this is an opportunity to network with your peer, talk about some of the things that are important to them. A lot of times there's that knowledge sharing. A lot of it is like, instead of tackling the solution myself, I'm going to talk to my peers and find out they've already had the similar solution, get their lessons learned. It's a good networking event. All around, it's a very positive thing to come to.
So tell me a little about what you do.
So I am the CIO at South Texas Blood and Tissue. Have under our purview multiple other companies. Qualtex Laboratories, which is a national laboratory. It's the largest independent testing laboratory in the world. And so we do all sorts of plasma and rare. We're basically focused in on saving lives and being, making that connection and promoting that. And then our third company is GenCure, which is very exciting. It's focused in on R&D and research. So we're doing things with stem cells. We're doing things with cancer patients, burn victims, on having them regrow their own body. And so it's very exciting.
You're CIO over all of them?
That is correct.
So what is your company doing to attract talent in the private sector for yourself?
So one, we're trying to gain more visibility and focus, so and spread that more nationally and recruit from other areas. We realize that just recruiting from San Antonio isn't going to get the job done. So we're actually targeting other markets to bring talent into us. And then what we do is once we get them, we foster a great culture that retains. So we have a high retention rate within our organization.
Well, since this is being watched by people around the nation, what attracts you to San Antonio?
Oh, you know what? It's a great place to live. I've lived all over the place, but you know what? I ended up coming back to San Antonio because even though we are the 6th largest city in the U.S., we still kind of have a lot of that hometown, small town feel where we're not dealing with some of the bigger city issues. It's a great place to raise a family, and there's a lot of fun things to do. There's a whole new expansion of the Riverwalk that is very young and vibrant and exciting, and a lot of art and social things to do. It is a wonderful place to live.
It is a big city.
Yes it is. Yes, it is.
Well, thank you so much for being the co-chair here at San Antonio TechExecs chapter. We look forward to more of your involvement.
Oh, thank you, Tony.
With me is Barzi Zruli, and he is the former CIO. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been working into the information management area for the last 30 years or so. I just retired from the Army Medical Command as the Deputy CIO in the responsibilities of security, networking, data management, architecture, and just about a gamut at the headquarters for over 24 years. San Antonio is a great place to work. And and you don't get the big monies in San Antonio, but what you do is you have a extremely great quality of life. And the city is great. Cost of living is fairly inexpensive compared to the rest of the big cities in there. It's a big city, but a small town.
With me is the infamous Janelle. So thank you so much for being the chapter social chair here in San Antonio and TechExecs. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about the event. We had a great turnout today. So
Looks like a great number of people.
yeah, I'm really excited. We're getting the word out and trying to build our San Antonio chapter.
So I remember the days when San Antonio was still a small, tiny community, but this seems to be exploding, right?
Right. So 7th largest city in the nation, and we're hoping that the IT community will also attest to that.
So tell me a little bit about why people should come out to TechExecs.
Well, I think getting people out of their comfort zone and really starting to get an understanding that San Antonio is a big community and a tech community. So our goal is to bring some attention to our city, and so we're really excited about doing that. So in order for that to happen, people need to come out and see what we're about and start learning about what we have to offer.
So tell me about your growing business.
My growing business, well, with the growth of the city, has also had some personal growth with our organization. People coming to San Antonio because of job opportunities, companies hiring within the marketplace, and that's creating obviously great opportunities for the community in general, which has kept our business pretty busy, as you can imagine. TriQuest Business Services is a specialized staffing agency, and we provide IT resources on a contract and a direct hire basis, and attracting the talent to come to San Antonio in order to, or for our community and for the companies in town. So we are staying pretty busy and attracting the right talent.
I heard you recently won an award. Tell me about that.
So San Antonio Business Journal, TriQuest Business Services was actually voted the fastest growing company in San Antonio. So that has been a big accomplishment for us because we've been in business a short 4.5 years, and we experienced a 250% growth rate in a year. So, right, so our staff has grown, our company has grown, our relationships have grown, so we're really excited about what the future has to offer.
Well, thank you so much for keeping this chapter intact for so many years, and we really appreciate it.
Perfect, my pleasure, thank you.
With me, of course, the familiar face, Eric Hill from Houston, Texas. Now you moved to where?
I live in Bernie, which is outside of San Antonio.
So Eric is helping out with San Antonio chapter as the chapter president, and hopefully lead the chapter to a more organized fashion. So what do you think about the San Antonio so far?
I think it's a great group of people, really small. My goal and objective is to try to grow this substantially. I have a little experience, helping you grow the Houston market, and I think that we can apply a lot of the same things that we did here in San Antonio to what we did in Houston by, really engaging people on in these cocktail and connection types of things, and hosting these at really premier venues, and then on top of that, hosting the roundtables and bringing in speakers that are very qualified people, which it sounds like we haven't had a problem doing that. It's an interesting market here because our roundtables here have been very successful from what I understand, but our social side of things has not. And so I'm going to try to grow both sides of it, but I really, I enjoy the cocktails and connections. I'd like to grow that part of it also. So anyway.
So why do you think it's important for them to come out and join the group?
I think it's important for any IT technology person to have people that they can talk to outside of their normal job, so they can talk about things that they're going through, because a lot of times you can't find people inside your organization to really have a shoulder to lean on, to figure out how to solve some problems that you may be having. And so I think it's valuable for people to join groups like this in order to have camaraderie and to be able to work out things outside of the office. I think that's important.
Thanks so much for getting involved and helping to lead and relaunch the San Antonio chapter.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Tony.
Chris, what do you do?
So I'm the Senior Vice President of IT Operations for IBC Bank. So I run all the technical services side of IT Bank. What I tell people is if it plugs in the wall, it's mine.
So you're the co-chair of the TechExecs San Antonio chapter. What's the topic coming up on October 9th?
Well, the topic coming up on October 9th, it really has to do around the challenges of hiring IT talent in San Antonio. And really what we want to focus on is what can we do from a private industry perspective to drive talent into San Antonio. We have a good university system here, but we see those students migrate out once they get degrees. we want them to see San Antonio as a destination for their career going forward.
So one of the things during the conference calls that we had, there was a difference between the government sector and also private sector. What are each sector doing these days?
The private sector? So the private sector really has been kind of in this loop of hiring from each other. And so it's kind of created some hostilities, if you want to call it that, between organizations, and it's really kind of damaged some people's credibility and reputation in the city. And all we're trying to do is progress our companies and try to meet the demands of the business. And so what we've been trying to do is leverage our recruiting as much as possible, reach out to the universities and do what we can there, but it's still not enough. What we've seen on the government side is they've done a very good job of leveraging the city and the county and trying to just, from that government security perspective, and that's kind of overshadowed the private sector's needs for like database talent, developer talent, those types of people. And so that's really where we think a good platform for TechExecs is to be able to focus on those types of individuals and try to get them not only to come into our company, to grow within our organization and continue to add value for decades to come.
So why do you think it's important to come to a TechExecs function?
Well, I think it's really important because it's a tight-knit community in San Antonio, and you can learn a lot from each other. And obviously, everyone that so far that I've met at TechExecs is willing to collaborate and to share information, maybe share some tricks of the trade. Maybe there's some people that didn't fit well within their organization they couldn't hire, and maybe they're a good fit for you. This is the types of place you're going to find that information. One-on-one conversations, that's really it. You're not going to get that on any other type of web page, social page. It's just not going to happen.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for being actively involved in the San Antonio chapter. We look forward to hearing more from you.
All right, no, I enjoy it. Thank you.
With me is Justin Sheedy. He is with CyrusOne. And what do you think about the event?
I think it's been great. It's been good to kind of network with some of the folks in the San Antonio market here and meet some other executives and try to help out the IT community to kind of come together and learn and foster and grow from each other.
Are you from San Antonio?
I've been here about 13 years. I grew up in the Dallas area, originally from the East Coast, so I like to think of myself as a San Antonian. But
so what do you think about San Antonio?
I think it's a great town. I think we've got the last 10 years has been great, and I think we've got, arguably a really good road ahead of us. A lot of room for growth. The city's laid out really well. A lot of good talent here. A lot of young folks in college coming up, looking for good careers here, and affordable living, and a lot of good young companies, as well as good old established companies as well.
Let's talk about CyrusOne. CyrusOne is a statewide sponsor of the TechExecs Network. So talk about CyrusOne.
CyrusOne is a great company. We build and operate data centers. We like to think of ourselves as the sky for the cloud, if you will. So we provide the mission-critical facilities that companies house their computers in. So every application that you go to on your smartphone or that you go to a website and visit, that lives on a server somewhere. Those servers have to live in data centers. We provide those data centers for companies.
Do you guys have a data center here in San Antonio?
We do. It's out on the west side of town, out by SeaWorld. It's sort of data center alley for San Antonio. We're the only Tier 4 co-location facility in San Antonio.
What does that mean?
Basically, there's different levels of redundancy within a data center, and we built to the highest level, sort of the enterprise class facility that offers a very, very redundant, very, very hardened facility in terms of physical security, ability to deliver power, and ability to deliver cooling to any type of computing environment.
You guys have a DR facility also for people can come into your office space?
Absolutely. We've got some office space there so people can house their people on site. We have places where companies can sort of run away to in the event of if their primary facilities are damaged or compromised in some way. Absolutely. So that's a big part of our business is that office space component, being close to their data center, close to their raised floor.
Well, thank you for being part of San Antonio, and then we look forward to your involvement here.
All right. Thank you.